Want to achieve that cinematic look? Stay tuned. So on this channel, we talk about tech, tutorials, and from time to time, we like to throw in some short films. Now, as you know, we're talking about cinematic video and how to achieve that. So with this setup right here, I'm going to turn off all the lights and then we're going to build it up one at a time, all right? So this how it would normally look when I have no lights on. This is just straight natural light. I didn't increase the ISO or nothing. Now you can go ahead and use natural light. I do have the ceiling light on right now because I didn't want it to be too dark. My window is still closed out though because I didn't want to have that natural light coming in. Now, if I was to turn on the key light, this is how it will look. You could kind of see some depth of field within the shot. Yes, I still have the candle lit, so you kind of see that little bit of orange tone going on. But now we're going to add in some of those colored light that you saw previously. Now, with the light on in the background, you could call it blue, you could call it teal, whatever you like to call it is fine. With that light in the background, it now gives us that depth. That nice depth separates myself from the background. Now we're gonna turn on the light that's actually lighting up the candle that you see in the background to give it that somewhat of a glow. Now with that light on, it's not doing as much, but it does help to, again, separate that background, get that nice depth of field, separating myself from the background with that nice depth of field. Now, what this light is going to do is going to help with the next light that we're going to add on to help give us that orange look. Now, with the other light that is on, which is positioned over here to my left, probably your right, not really sure how that inverse thing works, but it is giving the illusion or the appearance that this practical light, the candle, is lighting up the left side of my face right here, when in reality I have a whole separate light doing just that. So in order to create that cinematic look, you want to have, the main thing is your key light, as we saw before. Your key light, you want to have it at least 45 degrees away from your face if you're using artificial lights, or you can use some natural light, but that will mean I would need to go closer to the window, and you still want to have similar setup. And also, you'd also need to factor in the time of day that you're shooting. Now, this website right here, on this website, you could see multiple different color combinations for you to choose from. So as long as you achieve one of these color combinations, you can be sure that you have that color contrast that is appealing to the human eye. Now, blue lights in the back, candles right here, but I really have, the candle is mainly playing as a practical light. I have the main light source that's giving that orange look shining on my face right here. Turn that off and that candle isn't really doing much. And another thing, I placed a small RGB light right behind the candle to give it that little bit of glow, which gives it the illusion or appearance that it is doing all of this to my face right now. Now, another thing that you can use to give it that cinematic look is adding this. Black bars. Black bars, for some reason, because we're used to seeing it when we go to the cinemas, gives it that nice feeling that we're watching a movie, that we're immersed in it. And it works. Like, I've used it sometimes when I'm creating my short films. I use it sometimes when I'm like doing some YouTube tutorials, although not all the times, because I like to save that for when I'm actually creating like those short films, trying to make that cinematic feeling that you feel. I don't know, something about that black bars is make it just feel so cinematic and just crisp. Now to recap everything that we just went over, and just in case you missed any part of it, you want to have your main lighting. For me, again, I'm using an artificial light. I'll leave the link to the light that I'm using in the description, and it's 45 degrees away from the camera. Camera is right here, and main light source is right here. I even have a softbox right here bouncing light back on the right side of my face. So yes, I do have that Rembrandt lighting, and it's helping to fill in some of those shadows. Second thing, you want to have colored light. I'm using different RGBs. You can see one, the blue one, directly in the back, and then you can see I have one behind the candles back here, giving it that glow. So those goes in with the colored lights, and I'm also using that as practical lights as well, with the main light source from the orange coming in from the light source to the left. Really, that's just the modeling lamp from off of one of my strobes. You gotta use what you gotta use what you have, right? Third thing, create that depth of field. Now I can go ahead and knock out the background if I want. That does help to give it a better depth of field and to give it that more cinematic look. But because I'm, showing you guys what's actually going around, I figured I would keep everything in focus so you guys could properly see. And now the final thing you could do, give it that cinematic look, is to throw in those black bars. Throwing those black bars really helps. There's a few other things that you can do to help spruce it up. You can add in like some plants and things of that nature. You can add in some light bars. I think that's what they're called. I've seen other YouTubers do that. Like, just setting up your scene also helps to give it that cinematic look. But what I'm showing you is just a simple way to achieve that. Now, guys, I want to know what your setup is and how you plan to achieve this cinematic look. But if you learned something today, I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you learned and how your setup is. Press that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. All the things that your favorite YouTubers always tell you to do, because it really does help out. And guys, you already know it's your boy Stafford. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.